4 years ago, we bought this abandoned piece of land to try to find another way of living. And so far, we have been building places to live, making the land less fire risk, and overall, trying to live more sustainable. And in this video, we are going to make a new roof for the veranda of our sketchy ruin. Welcome to a new Project Kamp update. So, we are gonna build another roof. I'm now in the sketchy ruin that we built in season 2. Now we use it as an office, but in the future will be a guest house. Anyway, this veranda needs some protection from the sun and from the rain, because when you get in, you want to be a bit dry there. But also very important to protect these walls and the wall in the bottom room, because nowadays it's actually leaking from the outside to the inside through the wall. And as our sketchy ruin is so special, we thought, let's ask one of the guys that helped us build it to design this veranda. Maybe some of you remember Martijn from season 2.
Bang on, mate.
Back then, it was a challenge to renovate the building, because this ruin has this weird shape.
Here's the line of the wall. And here's the end.
Nothing is straight, and since this veranda will have a strong visual impact, we want the design to match this sketchiness. But Martijn is in the Netherlands, so we work out this design process remotely. Yeah, don't do weird things if you're gonna get naked, not now. On the other hand, we have Jaime from season 3, who is now here for a month and helped us build a lot of stuff in the past. We know that he builds solid, and funny fact, Martijn and Jaime never met each other, but we trust that they will do a great job in this project. Right, Jaime?
Yes, we will. Let's start building. So, back to filming. Feels strange. But wood is here. Just arrived. We already have the drawings for the new roof on the office. So right now we're gonna start prepping all the wood, cutting one straight edge, sanding everything, and smoothing out the edges. So yeah. Okay, so most of the sanding is done. Right now I'm going down to the sketchy ruin to take some measurements, and we also are going to start putting up the wallboards. We're going to start there with the wallboards and there, and then I'm going to measure this guy and those to make the cuts on the lower part of the beams and put them in place. So, first problem. Those beams that come from the roof from the sketchy ruin don't run similar. So we are gonna have to fill in the gaps so that the wall beam here runs straight.
We can also do the map.
It's not that sketchy. Is Mariona also there? You cannot see her.
Wall boards are on, so we're gonna start with the post, and to be able to put on the post we have to take 2 rows of the deck off, so Tincho is gonna take them off.
Maybe we go into web.
So I decided to go this way because it's a really big beam and really thick, so I don't want it just to screw it to the side of it because all the weight will go down here. So I put half of the beam on this post, and I also made a cut for this guy here, so it's resting on this one and on this one, and that also gives it strength sideways and front and back ways. Now we have to put 2 more, line them up, and then we will measure a crosser that's gonna go through all 3 of them, and then we're gonna put 2 little ones on the side.
¿Y bajo?
Sí, baja.
Ok, baja. Ahí está.
Epa.
I hope to see you again. I go to Italy.
Tincho, you think it holds or not?
Text us when you arrive. Say it.
3 big screws like this.
Where?
Down there.
¿Dónde va a ser la grande, Jaime?
Okay, so right now we're gonna place this guy in the front of the 3 posts. I could have gone 2 ways. One, measure and use a chalk line to mark my cuts, and just do it there and put it in place. But since I want to make a double joint, I'm gonna put it on the post and then just mark on the back of this guy on the front of the post, and then cut everything, and hopefully everything will fit together perfectly. Para quitar el... Now we have to push this beam to that side.
More? 20 centimeters. Oh, it's another one. Yeah. There?
So now that everything has been measured and marked, it's time to take everything off again and cut it to size. After putting everything up and then down again and then cut and measure and everything, we did all the angles correctly. So
We love sketchy.
to check this angle. Okay, so right now we're gonna start with the trickiest part of the build. It's putting the rafters on. Why is it tricky? Because they are all different sizes and we are going in a different angle than this wall. So first we have to cut the final part of the rafter in an angle so that it goes against the wall, and then we have to cut off a part so that the under part of the rafter goes flush with this beam, and here the same, so that the beam can rest on the rafter can rest on the beam. It's gonna be difficult.
No, it's not.
This one? Oh yeah, solid. So much noise.
This is you.
I can't work.
Okay, so we marked our last rafter that is going in this angle, and now we have to change to the other angle. We have to cut here down and then in diagonal. So yeah, it's gonna be tricky and sketchy, but everything is sketchy. The other way. Wait, wait.
Yeah.
No, hombre. Okay, so we are gonna start with the last two rafters. We just put a line on where the last rafter is gonna go. This way we can measure the rafter, and also we can measure the angle, make the beam on size, and just put it on. Oh, this is gonna be a long cut.
Good work, Jaime.
Thank you, Guy. So. Then it has to be shorter.
You can push a little bit more.
I don't know if you can see from here. It was tricky to. Those rafters are going in this angle, and this front is going in this angle, so we had to cut also an angle on the rafter to make it match the front face and also the big beam.
Done?
Hot. Done. Rafters done. Finished. Top.
So there?
Pégalo contra ti.
Okay.
That? Yep. Okay, we are still waiting on some materials, but yeah, we have some things we have to finish. Tincho is gonna be sanding the last front plate to finish all the framing of the veranda, and I'm gonna start building the fences. But yeah, we have to hurry up a bit because it's my last week. It's been short, but I think we can manage. If the wood arrives, we will manage.
Yes. So screw it.
Can you imagine working there?
Good spot. Okay, so wood part of the veranda is finished. We still have a couple of little things to do. They are gonna have to oil the whole thing. But we want to let it set or leave it like this to dry out because the wood is really wet. Yeah. Still need to find a cover. We want to use metal sheets, and that will be Tientje's job to finish the whole thing, the whole veranda. He is behind the camera. Tientje. Top.
Here we are. Have been a couple of weeks since we finished the woodwork because we want to let it dry before start with the oiling. But during the process the wood shrank. Now here, for example, we can see a gap in between the planks on the roof. This joint here doesn't look very nice anymore, but it's just a detail. Also, these cracks appears on the beams. So now we are ready to start oiling, but this side of the roof, and yeah, the rooftop is very high. We cannot reach it from here. So we're gonna build a scaffolding just to work easier and safer there. Let's start oiling. Alright, we finished with the oiling. Now we have to wait for it to dry. In the meanwhile, we already set up the scaffolding, so we are ready to move on to the next step.
And the next step is to make our roof waterproof. For that we have chosen these wavy iron metal sheets, a classic. We choose them because basically we like them. Also to keep the look of the sketchy ruin, so outside looks sketchy, but from the inside we will still see the wood. And third reason is because the slope of our roof actually have two angles, which makes the roof tiles don't work really well here, so we needed a bigger surface to let the water go through. So now we're gonna cut all the sheets that goes in that direction with this angle, so we are sure that they all fit against the wall together. So now this part that we just cut is not protected anymore. So we're gonna paint it a bit, just the edge, to protect against the rust and the corrosion. We screw the metal sheets into the wood with the specific screw with a washer that has a rubber to avoid water infiltration in the holes. And here we want to draw a straight line to make the cut. So we're gonna measure here 9 centimeters. We're gonna measure in the other side 9 centimeters from the roof. Then we draw the line and then
There.
So here, to continue cutting, we're a bit tight with the scaffolding. There's no place to stop here. So we finish here. Now we're gonna continue with the triangles of the corners, which are these parts with the sketchy shapes. So we need to cut a lot there and measure. And then we will continue to cut this, preparing a bit more the scaffolding to do it. You see, weird angle, weird angle, weird angle, flat. Let's see if it fits now. It fits perfectly. Like a glove. It's the last one. So now it's time to cut and make this side straight and parallel to the wood we have in the back. Last painting of the edges. So we just received the last piece. This is the top. Now it's time to put it up and we'll finish the job. What are you doing this time?
Putting back the beautiful face on the roof.
Do you think it's beautiful?
Yes, I think it's very beautiful. Don't you?
That was it. That was the last piece. Now we have a really nice veranda, sketchy as we like, but brand new. So hopefully it lasts more than us. So it was a really nice and collaborative project. Very happy with it. And that was it for this video. If you want to support us, you can go to Patreon, see the update 1 week in advance. And otherwise, keep on watching, commenting, liking, whatever. And see you in the next update.